Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Hope you people are fine. Today's topic is the welding inspector interview questions. This one already uploaded this series 30 questions in my previous video. So those people are still not seen that video. Please go through that video and you can understand the each questions. I already told you total 90 to 100 questions will be there, though these three video is very important, so you can get all these interview questions with these 90 questions, and I am sure that this question will definitely will come your interview question in this 90 question. This 90 question I have prepared like this way that you can get help from these questions. So those people still not subscribe my channel, please subscribe so that it will encourage to me and I can upload lots of video in like this way. So let's start. So the first question is, what is SMAW essential variable? So the question is little bit tricky, but it is easy. The SMAW essential variable, how you have to check? So answer is base metal, filler metal, selection of electrode, preheat, post-weld heat treatment, polarity. So from where you can find this essential variable? Definitely you should know this one. If you go the table QW253, you see here the table. This table you can go in ASME section 9 QW253. You can understand the what is essential. You see here the essential, non-supplementary essential, and the non-essential variable. So all this variable is mentioned here, so you can get the essential variable from this QW253. Question number 2, what is the requirement of surface temperature for PT test? In PT test, what is the requirement of surface temperature? So answer is minimum 10 degrees centigrade, maximum 52 degrees centigrade. But as per NDT section ASME BBVC section 5 in article 6, if you go, the temperature it is mentioned 4 degrees centigrade to 50 degrees centigrade only you can do the PT test. You see here 4 degrees centigrade to 52 degrees centigrade, but sometimes the client is mentioned the 10 degrees or below 10 degrees, so that's sometimes it is not mentioned in your client document, so you have to follow always the client requirement 10 degrees centigrade to 52 degrees centigrade. It is the PT test surface temperature. Question number 3, what is planar defect? Answer is major weld defects such as cracks and lack of fusion, that is called the planar defect. Planar defect, how? The defect shape is usually classified in two types. One is volumetric. Volumetric, how it is, for which the ratio between height and width is next to unity, means your defect will be like that, height and length will be there. Okay, this type of defect maybe it is calling the volumetric defect. And the planar defect, width is there, this is width is there, but you cannot see the very small your height, that is called the cracks. You cannot see in crack the defect the height. In lack of fusion, sometimes you can see some small height is there. So the answer is major weld defects such as cracks and lack of fusion. Question number 4, which NDT method is used to find out the lack of sidewall fusion? The lack of sidewall fusion only you can do in UT. In ultrasonic testing, we can do the sidewall fusion. We can find out the lack of sidewall fusion. Question number 5, what is the purpose of preheat? To reduce the hydrogen content to delay cracking, to reduce the martensite formation, and the last one is to reduce the cooling rate to avoid cracking. So first is to reduce the hydrogen content. So sometimes in the welding joint, maybe in hydrogen content is there in the material. So to reduce that hydrogen content to delay cracking, we use the preheat. Next is to reduce the martensite formation. You see, maybe reduce the cooling rate means your cooling rate is slowly. If it is cooling rate is very high, what will happen? It will be generated the very hard material, that is called martensite. So to reduce the martensite, we need to preheat. To reduce the cooling rate to avoid cracking. So cooling rate, if it is high, then it may be cracking. That's why We use preheat to reduce the cooling rate and to avoid cracking. 6. What is the use of pi gauge? Usually you have no this one, those are working as a NDT inspection to check the sensitivity of magnetic field in the MPI yoke. So you are checking the sensitivity of magnetic field in the MPI yoke, that is use of pi gauge, and the to calibration of the MP yoke. These two things we have to check in your pi gauge. Question 7. How to calibrate the MP yoke? Two types is there. One is AC yoke and one is DC yoke. So you can check in DC yoke also. AC yoke, how you have to check the calibration? You have to lift the 4.5 kg lifting block and check the magnetic field by use of pi gauge or indication. So you have to check first. You have to lift that 4.5 kg lifting block and you have to check that magnetic field is there by pi gauge or any indication. And DC yoke, what you have to do? You have to lift the 18.1 kg lifting block. So this is the difference in AC yoke and DC yoke. Only the how much kg is lifting block, it is the only difference. Question 8. One welder qualified for 10 mm thickness. So what is the minimum and maximum thickness qualified? This is very important question. Also it is mentioned in ASME section 9. This is the very basic question you should know. As per ASME section 9, if you go, it is minimum 1.5 mm and maximum 2T, 2 into thickness. So you see here in QW 451.1, if you go, what is the thickness? 10 mm thickness. In 10 mm thickness you see 1.5 to 10. That is the minimum is 1.5 mm and maximum is 2T thickness. You see here minimum maximum range of thickness. So you understand, as per ASME section 9, minimum 1.5 and maximum 2T. When fit up is ready, question 9, what you are going to check? You see your joint, weld joint is ready, your fit up is everything ready, then what you have to check as an inspector, welding inspector? You have to check first there is a qualified WPS, means WPS is there or not. If WPS is there and approved, then we can start the welding. Qualified welder is there or not, in that WPS there is WQT or not, welder qualification test is there as qualified welder, and there in that WQT is mentioned the WPS number, everything we have to check in that WQT. Welding machine calibration or not, if the calibration is not there, then you have to need the calibration first. Bevel are cleaned or not, if bevel not clean, maybe joint cannot be get the sound weld. Root gap is there is proper as per WPS or not, and root face, where we can found this measure root gap and root face we can found in approved WPS. And internal misalignments also you can find in the found in your WPS. So all these things we have to check, and you have see that everything is okay, then you can start for welding. You see, very important. Question number 9. When fit up is ready, what you are going to check? This question is very important. You have to check. You see there is fit up is ready. You want to start that welding. So before welding, what you need to check? Qualified WPS is there or not? Qualified welder is there, means WQT report is there or not? Welding machine calibrated or not? Bevel are cleaned or not? Root cap is there, root face is there as per WPS or not, and internal misalignment. So what all these things from where you have to check? You have to check the from WPS. You can check all these requirement from the WPS. Question number now 10. If misalignment is more than as per specified, what will you do? You see the some misalignment is the more than the requirement. So answer is refit up. You have to do the refit up again and pipe internal tapering by the grinding, you have to do internal tapering by the grinding, and the tapering shall exit 3 degree. Tapering shall exit 3 degree. So this is the answer. Question number 11. How will you check the voltage and amperes? The very important and very easy, by using a clamp meter. So whenever you are doing the welding as the inspector, how you have to check? By using clamp meter, you need to check the voltage and amperes. Question number 12. If the welder is qualified at 0.5 inch dia, so how much the maximum dia and minimum dia? So you see, one pipe is there, that is 0.5 inch dia, and he is qualified for 0.5 inch. So what is the maximum and minimum dia qualified? So answer is, minimum is size of the weld and maximum is unlimited. You see here, QW 450.452.3 ASME section 9. You see the less than 1 inch, that is called 0.5 inch, means less than 1 inch, that is minimum is welded size and maximum is unlimited. So you see the reference here. Question number 12. Question number 13. How many techniques in RT? In answer, if you go in SWSI, single wall, single image. So question number 13. How many techniques are there in RT? So answer is very simple. One is single wall, single image, that is called the panoramic shot is there. So that is called single wall, single image. Another is DWSI, another is DWDI. DWSI means double wall, single image. DWDI means double wall, double image. So the how many technique is there? 1, 2 and 3. 3 techniques are there. Question number 14. What is panoramic shot? What is panoramic shot? So the answer is source located of the source located of the inside of the pipe and the film fixed in the weld joint, the top side. So you start the only one time full joint. So you can get in one time all joints will be completed. That is called the panoramic shot. You see here, this is your X-ray machine. This is your X-ray machine. This is the joint. This is the joint. You see the penetrometer here, also penetrometer, here also penetrometer, here also penetrometer, and here also penetrometer. See, one shot it is completed the full joint. That is called the panoramic shot. Question number 15. What is DCEP and DCEN? This is very important questions in welding. The arranged of direct current in the arc welding machine. So that is the direct current you have to arrange in arc welding machine. The electrode is in the negative pole and the workpiece will be in the positive pole of the welding arc, commonly known as the state polarity. So always you have to remember, in DCEN electrode is the negative pole and the workpiece in the positive pole. That is called the state polarity. In DCEP is opposite. You see here, the electrode is positive pole and the workpiece is the negative pole. That is called the reverse polarity. So you understand the state polarity and reverse polarity. So you see here the one sketch. You see here in DC positive, one is positive, one is negative. So DC positive it is connected to your clamp, and DC negative it is DC positive, sorry, it is connected with the workpiece, and DC negative is connected with the electrode. So that is called the DCEN, and this positive is DC, it is connected with the electrode, and the negative with the workpiece. That is called the DCEP. So understand, and it is clear in this picture. Question number 16. What is the thickness required for the PWHT? This is very important question. Answer is, as per new B31.3, if you see, there is no clear view of PWHT required. If preheat is carried out at temperature 90 degrees centigrade, if you are doing the preheat at temperature in 95 degrees centigrade, definitely there is no need of PWHT. It is saying in B31.3. But remember one more thing, if during pipe welding, if interpass could not be maintained and if it had been postponed in the next day, then again require temperature, definitely maybe your client asked you to do the PWHT, because interpass today it is not maintained, again you are doing the temperature interpass again tomorrow. So that joint may be affected. In that case, drawing or specifically any client demands that you have to do this PWHT. There should be written document in your procedure, should be there. Question number 16 finished. Question number 17, what is the soaking time for PWHT in thickness base? You know, this one PWHT soaking time is minimum 1 hour in 25 mm. In 25 mm 1 hour should be soaking time. Question number 11, what is the interpass temperature for P8 material? As per Aramco standard, if you go SES W11, the maximum interpass temperature for P1 is 315 and P8 material is 177 degrees centigrade. So in SES W11 for pipeline welding. So if you see there, P1 is 315 degrees centigrade and P8 is 177 degrees centigrade interpass temperature. Question number 19, tail to piping fitting specification. So answer is ASTM A234 WPB. You have to mind always this type of specification in your mind, because sometimes client is asking to you or interviewer is asking to you, but it is not easy, but you have to remember ASTM A234, ASTM A420, ASTM A403. So minimum you have to tell this one also you have to tell. If you not tell full one, then you have to tell minimum ASTM A420, ASTM A403, all this. Question number 20, tail to flange specification, same like ASTM A105, ASTM A350, ASTM A182316L, LF2. So all these things is for the flange specification. Question number 21, what are the documents needed in hydro test package? This is very important question. You have to need in documents in hydro test package flow diagram, all valve calibration certificate, manifold calibration certificate, all joints welding final inspection report, all joints ND report, bolt torquing inspection report, and last is the water analysis report. If you see this document is ready, then you can start for hydro test. This is very important. In your package should be all these details. Question number 22, what is ASME section 2 part C? Specification for welding rods, electrodes and filler metal. This is the requirement mentioned in your ASME section 2 part C. Question number 23, how many types of IQI is there in radiography testing? 2 types. One is hole type, another is the add type. Simple questions. How many types of IQI is there? 2 types. Question number 24, what is the preheat temperature of the CS? Minimum should be 10 degrees centigrade. However, its common CS over 25 mm, it is 95 degrees centigrade is the requirement in the preheat, for the preheat temperature. Question number 25, what is the interpass temperature for CS, SS and alloy steel? CS minimum 315 degrees centigrade, SS minimum is 177 degrees centigrade, and alloy minimum is 300 degrees centigrade. So this interpass temperature should be remembered. Question number 26, a welder is qualified. Be concentrated in this question. A welder is qualified to weld in 2G position on pipe would have to qualify in which of the additional position to qualified for all position. Means one welder is qualified in 2G position. So another one position, if he is qualified, then he is qualified for all position in group welding. So you know 2G. So another one, it should be 5G. So 5G is the answer. You see here the answer is 5G position. Then it will be for all position. So all position he is qualified. Question number 27. What period of inactivity from a given welding process requires the welder to re-qualify in that process? So if you see some welder is some gap is there in his activity. So what you think as an inspector, maybe 4 months, 5 months, 6 months, 8 months. So how many months if it is gap is there, then you have to requalify. So definitely the answer is 6 months. If you see any welder is in his activity, he is missing this activity in his 6 months, in that welding process, definitely you have to requalify. Question number 28. How many types of gasket are there and give example? So answer is metallic gasket, that is spiral wound gasket, gas ring gasket. You can say in metallic gasket. In non-metallic gasket, you see the rubber gasket and the Teflon gasket. So two types of gasket is there. One is metallic, another is a non-metallic. Question number 29. Give example of two types of bore fitting. So bore fitting, you see you have to understand bore means there is thread is there. So weldolate, chocolate, threadolate is there. Question number 29. Give example of types of bore fitting. So bore fitting, it's called the weldolate, chocolate, threadolate, all six coming under bore fitting. Question number 29. Question number 30. How many types of reducer are there? You know the reducer, there is two types. One is concentric, another is eccentric. So two types of reducer are there, concentric and eccentric. So this 30 question also is a very basic question, and these are very helpful for the beginner. So you have to remember all these questions in your mind, then definitely you have to crack your any types of interview. This 60 question have done. Another 30 questions I will give you. That 30 question also very important. So that 90 question you have to remember always in your mind. So thanks a lot. Those people still not subscribe my channel, please subscribe, then you will not miss any incoming videos in future. So thanks for watching. This is my YouTube link, so you can go there in description page. Also I will show there the first video of this 30 questions, so you can go there description link, so you can watch that video. So please like, share and subscribe my channel, then you will not miss any video. Thanks a lot. See you soon in my next video. Take care.